Some startups go up, others go down. Welcome to GeekWire's Elevator Pitch, where 3 entrepreneurs pitch their businesses in the 48 seconds it takes to get to the top of Seattle's first skyscraper, the Smith Tower. Over the course of 9 episodes, we'll narrow the field from 27 entrepreneurs to 1 winner. In this episode of Elevator Pitch, presented by Smartsheet, we'll hear from 3 startup founders as they pitch their emerging businesses to our panel of leading investors and entrepreneurs. Stephen Branstetter, an angel investor and vice president at Smartsheet. He caught the entrepreneurial bug in college and sold his first startup to Active Network. Heather Redman, power broker and former Getty Images executive, who cuts deals as the managing director of venture capital firm Flying Fish Partners. Richard Tate, the motorcycle-riding Scotsman and mastermind behind the hit board game Cranium, who now stirs up new ideas inside Starbucks. The clock is ticking. Jump on board and ride with us on the elevator pitch and find out which entrepreneur has what it takes to make it to the top.
Hi, my name is Deep, and I'm the founder and CEO of an ad tech startup, Advangelists.
Welcome to Smith Tower.
In 2014, I got introduced to the world of digital advertising, and very quickly I realized that this industry is very fragmented and has grown way too fast. There had to be a better way for advertisers. Advangelists was born. Advangelists is an ad tech operating system. We call it ATOS, and it uses its own internal AI-based proprietary stack to automate advertising, building a very close-knit relationship between an advertiser and a publisher. It provides transparent insights into how a brand spends its money and does so fully automated. The result is simple: 20 to 30% cost savings in human capital and an additional 20 to 30% cost savings in tech and licensing fees.
Who are your buyers right now? Who are you selling to?
Mostly agencies, advertisers, companies like Starbucks, AT&T, Verizon, any advertiser that works with any agency and is typically used to buying on the Facebooks of the world, the Snapchats of the world, Googles of the world. We build an automated tech stack to essentially take them from point A to point Z without all the letters in between.
So you mentioned that you're selling to agencies, but I thought you were displacing agencies. So who loses?
What we're doing is depending on who the advertiser is. So an advertiser can come to us and say, hey, do everything end-to-end for me. We're a tech platform, so we say, hey, here is the platform, self-service. You can do your thing and explain them how to do it. We are a delivery platform instead of a creative shop, if you will.
And what's the proprietary competitive advantage?
The proprietary competitive advantage against most of our competitors, which is AppNexus, Trade Desk, and Beeswax, is that first, it's automated. Second, it's 70% cheaper. And most of our algorithms are patented. We've eliminated the need of ad operations, account management, sales planning by giving automated tools to support that. And that has further reduced the cost down. So when we go to our clients, we never tell them we'll help you increase your top line, but we are here to increase their bottom line.
What does your sales motion look like right now?
Our business is divided into 3 major verticals. Our prime business model is SaaS-based model where we go to a big agency or a big advertiser and pitch them this whole end-to-end platform. That particular sales cycle takes anywhere between 4 to 6 months because we are moving over a whole company to an ecosystem. Our other 2 business models where we just go to an agency and they are executing their advertising strategies on our version of the platform, the typical sales cycle there is anywhere between 1 to 2 weeks.
And what type of price point?
It's a dynamic price point. So we have given them automation tools that let them pick and choose what they want to determine their price point. So if you came to me and said, hey, I am XYZ, Smartsheets, and I want to advertise to people who are actually interested in my product, are in this age range, and I want to only advertise on Spotify or Pandora. So they can quickly, dynamically see what the price point be, even before starting on their advertising strategies and get that price point. So price can range from 7 cents to get in front of a user to $40.
What keeps you up at night? Like, what's the vulnerability that you're focused on?
What keeps me up at night is the first mover advantage. So we have built this amazing ecosystem that is saving people a lot of money. We're growing, but I think we need to grow faster and get ahead with the market. So if you look at AppNexus, it was recently acquired for $1.6 billion by AT&T. And our biggest scare or fear is that someone big, like an Amazon or a Google, can try and get this technology in-house.
And what's the constraint? Is it time, people, or money?
All 3, actually. People we have tried to remove out of the equation because we're building automation AI-based tools. But it's more about the algorithms, more about how people want to essentially put things in front of it. So If you take the giants like a Google as an example, a Google will always use their technology in-house because they want advertising to come to them. What we do is we go to mid to small to large level agencies and say, hey, here is a piece of technology so that you can own your own technology stack. And that way you're complementing what you're doing on Google rather than competing.
So was your question about what's their constraint in growing
Yeah, I mean,
faster?
as an entrepreneur, there's really three variables that you try and focus on, which is people, finding the right team, cash, or time. And that for me was the constraint that I was trying to understand. It's just like, how do you solve around either one or two? It's hard to solve around all three, but how do you solve around one or two of those constraints?
I was really surprised by his answer at the end, because I thought what he was going to say in relation to Amazon and Google is that Amazon and Google are protecting their own proprietary businesses around advertising, and so what he's doing is creating this, this neutral sort of tech stack that allows you to do what they do, but for any platform and for any, any publisher that you want to work with. And so I was a little bit. I'd like to hear more from him about, exactly where he fits in the ecosystem, and this is such an exploding area right now, and how he's driven down cost. Is that sustainable? Where does he go from here? But the growth that he's had in terms of revenue, if that is truly his, not the ads that he's placing, but instead his actual technology-based revenue, and the quickness of that growth cycle is really quite impressive. So
super impressive. I mean,
yeah.
if you look at the revenue per employee that he has and the gross profit margins that they've established, I mean, if they can scale that business, it's a huge opportunity.
Great business. He's selling to people who have budgets, who have money, and clearly it sounds like at least he's found a niche.
Yeah, no, very interesting.
To compete on lowering costs, I mean, that is a battle. You need a core competitive advantage. You can't just compete on lower prices. That gets really, really hard.
Well, and because it's AI enabled, it sounds like he's gaining efficiencies and has ability to continue to drive down cost. So it'll be interesting to hear more about the business. I'd definitely like to see them pitch to us.
Yeah, great.